Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the YouTube channel over here with Am I the Asshole Reviews with me, Certified Asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my husband there's no space for his drama in this family? Throwaway, fake names, etc. I, 35 female, have a husband, 41, and two wonderful bonus kids, 12 female and 14 male. My husband has 50-50 custody with his ex-wife, Jane, 40. Some background. My husband and his ex divorced a little over 10 years ago. It was as amicable as these things can be, and they've worked hard to have a good cooperative parenting relationship. Both would describe the other as a friend. I met my husband 6 years ago, and we married 4.5 years ago. His ex and their kids welcomed me with open arms. When his ex met and then married her now wife, Zara, 32 female, the same was true in reverse. Our two households combine for birthdays and major holidays, and generally at least one parent from each household is present for school plays, sports matches, etc., unless the kids ask for time with just mum and dad, in which case Zara and I bow out. I've always felt very fortunate that our families got along so well. I genuinely like Jane and Zara, and honestly, Zara is kinda badass. She's a doctor and worked with MSF and is also widely traveled. She has amazing stories to tell and is just a really warm human being. Now the issue. Jane and Zara recently announced Zara is pregnant, obviously, by a sperm donor. The kids seem excited, and I'm happy for Jane and Zara. My husband, on the other hand, has been off since the announcement. I've tried to get him to talk about what was bothering him, but he can't articulate it. I asked if he wanted to speak to a family therapist. We saw one before we married, just to help ease the transition to a blended family, but he didn't like the idea. I've started to lose my patience with him because from what he has said, his issue with Zara's pregnancy seems rooted in homophobia, misogyny, and racism. Yesterday, I was making dinner and he again started grumbling about how Zara's pregnancy wasn't right. How he should have been consulted, how he didn't understand why they needed to have another kid when we already have two amazing kids, etc. Then he told me we should try to have a baby as well. I shut that down. I have no desire to be pregnant and never have. Then he suggested adoption. I asked where all this was coming from, as we'd always agreed no more kids for us. He said this whole thing's going to end in tears, and that using a sperm donor to get pregnant is ridiculous. I was conscious of the kids in the other room, and told him to stop before the kids heard him. He started getting genuinely cross and said the kids had a right to know what was actually going on, and that he felt like he was in the Twilight Zone and he was the only sane one left. I lost my temper and told him that whatever issues he had with Zara's pregnancy were his problem, and that I and the kids were genuinely happy for her and Jane, and that this family had no space for his made-up drama. That made him really cross, and things were tense for the rest of the night. I feel like I should probably apologize for the phrasing, but I don't want to apologize for the sentiment. Am I the asshole? No, look, I don't care for most of the situation. Like, almost everything here is perfectly fine. The blended family that you've managed to put together is simply amazing. Most people do not get that when you separate this way. All of a sudden, they're expecting a new kid, and your hubby is throwing a fit. Like, he is having a crisis over this for basically no reason. Like, I don't know if he's thinking about them becoming so absorbed in the new kid that they're not going to think about the older kids anymore, or that that's going to take the rest of his family away from him because they're all going to be surrounding the new child, and they'll be closer with that side of the family and with this side of the family, and I'm gonna get left behind, and we need to fight back by having a kid of our own one way or another. You are having some kind of mental breakdown over this, and I can't fathom why. You either need to drop the drama and get with the program, or you need to go and see the therapist. Because you seem to have issues. I don't know if they're in homophobia, misogyny, or racism. I don't know the words that he managed to specifically articulate to you, OP. But you've expressed the concern that it's in homophobia, misogyny, or racism. Any of the three or a combination of. I don't know that that's necessarily the case, but I haven't heard the words said, so I can't really comment. It could be exactly that, it could be just something else, it could just be panic about the family dynamic shifting, it could be extreme jealousy. Remember, he built a family with this other woman. They have kids together, and now she's gone off to find another woman, so he probably feels emasculated by that. And then her and the other woman are having a baby together, which probably emasculates him even further. You know what I'm saying? Dude's struggling with the idea of not being the man of the house, of not being man enough, because his mother to his children prefers the company of a woman to him intimately. You're not the asshole. Dude needs to wake up. He needs the slap, honestly. Take this badge of honor. Run with it. It's okay for you to run with this, because he's being ridiculous, quite frankly. Oh, let's see what the comments say. Ooh, OP, by the way, has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I think I may be the asshole because I dismissed my husband's feelings out of hand. I didn't try to have a conversation or work through the issue. I just told him to stop talking. Now he's mad at me for my behavior, but I still feel justified. I mean, at that, you tried to talk to him about what the problem was. You tried to get him to articulate, but every time you did, the dude just wound more and more into his twisted version of events. And his panicked solutions that made no sense. Clutching at straws to have any degree of control over the situation to make him feel more like a man. I dismiss everything you've just said because incorrect. Simply incorrect. Not the asshole, but I'm not even sure his reaction is about homophobia. It's about control. There will be a child that he has absolutely no link with, and it means he's not the alpha anymore. He may have thought that his ex being with a woman meant it wasn't a real relationship. Pretty common, unfortunately. Yep, I think somewhere in his head he thought they were all his women. Like the male head of a Mormon family. The fact that two of his wives decided to get pregnant without him is making him upset and jealous. Mad they didn't use his sperm. I think I might have hit onto something with what I've said. Not the asshole. What has his knickers all knotted up? He's married to you. He's not with Jane anymore. And it's not ever the ex-wife is pregnant. It's Zara. He's absolutely throwing homophobia and misogyny out in spades with his disapproval. Thank you for trying to stop this behavior before he escalates. He's mad he's not the father. That's what the problem is. They used a sperm donor. And he's right there. Not the asshole. Insist on couples therapy. Insist! Do not let this derail your marriage or ruin your relationship with the co-parents. Yes. Like, get this sorted. Keep what you have together. He needs the therapist. If this can be recovered, amazing. If not, I mean, maybe you ditch him, you take the kids, and you go and live with fucking Jane and Zara. They seem to have a better relationship going on then you seem to feel reasonably welcome to. Well, if you have any comments, anything else that you would like to add to this little squirrel that we've had going on over here, please feel free to go drop those below. The more the merrier, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Meanwhile, why not go check out our other content over on the Twitch? Join us on the Discord. All the links are below in the chat. Thank you for being amazing, and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now.
Subscribe.